Hello and good evening, St. Augustine, and welcome to another edition of the Mike Davis-less Mike Davis Show. St. Augustine this evening. We are happy that you are here. I am excited I've got a returning guest with me. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. We are going to pay some bills before we do that. So forgive me as I make some money for Mike Davis and the St. Augustine this evening crew. Hebert, Kresge & Associates. They are a full-service local CPA firm with a team of skilled professionals dedicated to providing top-level service in the areas of tax compliance and planning for businesses, individuals, estates, and trusts. They do audits, reviews, and other accounting services, but they also do business valuations, forensic analysis, and litigation support. You can reach them at 904-460-0747 or HebertKresgeCPA.com. If you have not got your taxes in order yet, get them done now. That deadline is coming up fast. We've got land title, whether you realize it or not. When you refinance a sale or purchase of a home, there is a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town title company who doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local and choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins at 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because they give a crap. I did it, Mike. I said it. I said it for you. I said it 2 times. Crap for you, man. All right. Solomon Services, the premier place for personal training in St. Augustine. They specialize in small group strength and fitness development, athletic development for team and individual sports performance, sports injury-related training. They have a state-of-the-art center with indoor and outdoor turf areas. All coaches are certified through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. Call to make an appointment today at 904-461-9945, or you can visit them at solomonservices.com. Sign up today. It's not too late to get in shape for 2024. Solar Stick. Solar Stick, our friends at Solar Stick, we love them. They were established in 2006. They are a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing. That's all of our sponsors for today, but we do have the Beaux-Arts Ford Community Update. I want to remind you, Emma Concerts have 2 more concerts this series. There's the April 4th Words and Music with Stefana Take 2 from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Waterworks. Stephen and Anna Marr are clarinet and piano duo, and there is a free admission for that. So mark your calendar, April 4th, 1 to 2 p.m. at the Waterworks. It's a free concert with the Emma Concert Series. Then May 4th, we've got St. Augustine Orchestra at 7:30 p.m. in the Lewis Auditorium. This is a fantastic concert. It's all kinds of orchestra music from movies that you know. This is popular and classical music. You will recognize these songs. It's going to be a great night. This concert will be in conjunction with the Romanza Festival of the Arts. It's a local orchestra. They're going to be performing. Tickets are $20 for adults, $5 for students. Reserve your seat at emmaconcerts.com. That's a beautiful venue, the Lewis Auditorium. We also want to remind you to get your tickets for Task Force Hydra 1. It's the 2nd annual Grand Luau. This is going to be at the Mark Lance Armory on San Marco. It's May 11th, 5 to 8 p.m. Catered Hawaiian food, DJ music, hula dancers, silent auction, and raffle. This is a fantastic event. It's so much fun. Food's delicious. Everybody's got a great energy. It's a lot of fun. So come with me to this thing. It's 2nd annual. Last time was amazing. I loved it. Now, this Saturday, if you haven't got your tickets yet, you can get these tickets. Bourbon and Barbecue for Jimmy Jam. We are supporting Jimmy Jam with a bourbon and barbecue night at the Milano Room, Saturday, March 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. If you don't have dinner planned yet, let Jimmy Jam do the planning for you. Tickets are online. Go to Jimmy Jam and they will direct you to where you can get those tickets. I'll try and drop it in the comments for you. All right, so those are our community updates. I'm throwing everything on the floor. I'm making a mess, but we have a friend returning for us. Trey King, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back, Amanda.
Trey King from Marineland. I love having Marineland on. I love finding out what you guys are up to. And we are moving into a new season. So you guys got a lot going on.
Yeah. The spring is among us. We're ready for the spring breakers, the family, everyone to come on out. The sun is shining. We're just trying to bring everyone out, educate them about our Dolphins, and have some fun, festive days with us.
What warm weather fun. I mean, you guys are right on the beach. It's gorgeous. It's great to spend a day. Even if you only spend an hour in the park and spend the rest of the day at the beach, like come to Marineland. It's so much fun, and it's such a great day.
Oh yeah, no, I mean we got our own food truck, so we are right next to the beach. So there's a great beach access point right there in the town of Marineland, right alongside Raga Food Truck. So they do a great job over there as well.
And what kind of food do they have?
Oh gosh, they have like a little bit of like almost brunch food. They have like strudels and breakfast sandwiches.
Oh wow!
My wife and I have been. It's a pretty good time.
Nice.
It's run by an old employee, actually, Aaron.
Okay.
He owns and operates the food truck. So Aaron used to be a photographer at Marineland.
I bet I know Aaron.
Yes. No, solid human, beautiful family.
Wonderful.
So, yes.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that there's food down there also, because we would always pack food, and sometimes lugging a cooler can be a bit much. Well, but
They do a good job, but they don't have any the burgers that we have at our food truck at Marineland though.
Yeah.
So Miss Terry and Ashley, they do a great job. It's called Flipper's Food Truck.
Flipper's Food Truck. Okay.
I couldn't rest until I include them as well.
So you have options down at Marineland for lunch.
No, the town of Marineland itself, and now we're trying to do what's almost called like a first Saturday, like a town market. So that's something completely new that the town of Marineland is just pulling together. We did it, I think it was the beginning of this month.
Yeah, so our friend Susan Swearingen at Wild Heart Boutique, she was at that, and she said it was an amazing event.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, so that's the town is putting together that market, right?
Oh, yes.
And so where is it in proximity to the park?
So from my understanding, I'm pretty sure. So once you come into the town of Marineland, it's Marineland Dolphin Adventures right there on your left-hand side. You're just going to keep going forward.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit past Raga Food Truck on the right-hand side, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Like I said, it's very new.
Yeah.
So it's something we're trying to just kind of relaunch.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so Marineland's been involved. We our team members haven't been we haven't had as many as we would prefer.
Yeah.
So our staff's been a little thin. So we're trying to kind of cover our bases until we can actually get back out there, rejoin them, and then just continue involving ourselves amongst the community as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you guys do a great job with presentations. Whitney Lab, is that still affiliated
right
with
across
Marineland?
the street? So University of Florida actually owns and operates it. Yes.
Yeah, so there was a time when you guys were the same company.
Correct.
There's been a few ownership changes in my days. I'm old here.
No.
So yeah, Whitney Lab is a fantastic time also. There's a surprising amount to do at Marineland for how small of a little city it is. A lot of people don't know it is a city.
Right. They have no idea that when you see the signage that says "Welcome to Marineland," you are entering the town of Marineland.
Yep.
I'd like to say it's just for us
I know.
at Marineland Dolphin Adventure, but sadly, it's not.
It started because of Marineland.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like you said, we used to be the entire town. We were the entirety of the facility with an old time 3D movie theater. We had sea lions, pilot whales, penguins.
Yep.
And that was all. Oh my
River
gosh.
dolphins. Flamingos.
Yep.
All kinds of things.
It was a huge force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
There was no other entertainment establishment like it.
Yeah.
So we were very blessed to start where we did.
Yeah.
But we want to continue, obviously, with hurricanes over the years, and then taking that damage, and then Orlando becoming the new up and coming within the state. It's just been difficult to compete with. So
Well, part of that is the highway changed.
Yep.
I mean, the highway changed. Really, US 1 was the way to get down there.
That's crazy.
And so we were right off of US 1, A1A. Those were the main ways to head south. And once 95 came in, it sort of diverted traffic a little away from us.
Oh yeah.
A touch.
No, just a touch.
Just a touch.
Oh my goodness.
95, I-4, those things exist.
Yeah,
I
know.
guess.
I know.
There's this guy, Walt Disney. He came in. The land was cheap in the middle of the state because you can't see water.
Man knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He actually, he had a ton of businesses so that he could buy farms kind of willy-nilly
Really?
under different business names, so no one would jack the prices up on him.
Of course.
Yeah. So rather than it being like Walt Disney is buying this, it would be, Milford Development is buying it.
Like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, why not? We'll keep that price the same.
Yeah, so he had the land locked down before everyone knew it was him.
Dang.
Right?
I knew. Like I said, it's a very smart marketing ploy. I'll give
knew
him
what he
that.
was doing.
I'll give him that.
Yep. So Marineland, we have been here a long time at Marineland.
Yes, ma'am.
How long now? 1937?
So yeah, June 23rd, 1938.
38.
So
close.
this June makes 86 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, we've been here a long time, but it's just
Certainly have.
just a fun, rich history. Between like world's first dolphin facility ever, world's first dolphin trainer. World's oldest dolphin, born and raised under professional care.
Yep.
I'll talk about Nellie all day.
I mean, we can. We can. I love Nellie. Nellie was, she was an old lady when I met her, and she and Lily were always shoulder to shoulder, if you will, flipper to flipper. And I kind of referred to them, the purple hat ladies?
I don't think so.
So there was this movement in the 90s and early 2000s of like women who were empty nesters and older getting together. It's based off a poem. When I get older, I'll wear purple and I'll wear big hats and I'll laugh. And so it just became like this social club. And so it was like a phenomenon that the purple hat ladies would travel around and they'd kind of like take over Disney or they'd take over a cruise.
Oh.
And it would just be ladies in all purple hats and wearing red and acting crazy. And so I called Lily and Nellie the purple hat ladies of Marineland.
I'll have to.
Because they were the little old ladies that were partying, getting feisty.
That's very interesting. I had no idea.
Yep.
No, I think I've seen some of the like ladies dressed in those before, but I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a whole movement. I think it's kind of, I haven't seen it in a while, so it probably kind of petered out a little in the 2000s.
I was going to say, me and my wife, we probably saw that in New Orleans.
Oh, for sure.
When we went there, so that would make more sense.
Yeah. And we talked a lot about hats yesterday, Easter bonnets.
Oh, okay.
These are separate from Easter bonnets. These were the purple hat ladies. It was always wild hats.
Easter bonnets.
And they were not a sober group.
Oh, well then all the more reason.
I think they're the originators of bottomless mimosas. You can't fact check me on that because I might be making it up. But
I'm jealous.
I'm guessing they'd leave church, put on their purple hats, and it was party.
No, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Wild group. So that's what Lily and Nellie reminded me of because they were old ladies. Nellie was in sort of a loose retirement when I started there. And just because like we weren't doing a lot of shows at that point. When I worked there, we were open for a season and then we were closed down because of hurricanes and moved to the new habitats and then reopened. And so we called Lily and Nellie retired. I mean, they still did all their work. We still exercised them. They still did everything.
They still got their learning behaviors.
Yeah.
They got their reinforcement.
We just didn't, ask them to do shows as much.
Fair
enough. They still did them though, because they were down for it.
Well, they're curious and they want that outlet as well and to exuberate some energy.
But it's also like, people clap and they don't have the same hearing range as we do.
Nope.
But when you are in an environment for 40 years and you get positively reinforced for, the bald apes over in the stands making noise, then it was fun for them. I can't say that for certain because you can't tell me it's fun, but they were always jazzed to do it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, now our dolphins know over 200 different learning behaviors, so they get their outlet one way or another, and they get let those creative juices flow, if you will.
Yeah, we didn't have big windows because I was in the original habitats.
Okay.
For the first half of my time there.
Was this the 3?
Yep, the 3.
Okay, yep.
And so we had the circular oceanarium, which that's the old timers here. That's the OG. That's the steel tanks.
Excellent.
That had the blue arches over it. And those had specially designed windows for filmmaking.
Correct.
The circular oceanarium and the rectangular oceanarium.
The bronze frames, right? We still got them.
Yeah.
Still got them, and we love showing them to our guests. Like, hey, filmmakers would film
Yeah.
through these windows.
These were state of the art.
Hey, have you seen Revenge of the Creature of the Black Lagoon?
Oh, I should have brought it.
Then you've seen Marineland.
Do you know? So Benji Takes a Dive at Marineland.
Yes.
That was filmed there for sure.
Correct. The
And
puppets.
Yes. Well, Benji was a real dog.
Well, yes.
But yes, there were puppets.
There's a lot of puppets.
Yes, there were a lot of puppets. There was the Scuba Doo. We're gonna do Scuba Doos. I don't know. I have the VHS.
There was almost, we watched it, I think back in 2017 when I first started. We had this big night. We're like, you know what? We're going to show old time Marineland movies each
awesome.
night throughout the summer. And we're going to invite all these guests in. And one night we played Benji Takes a Dive.
That's so funny.
And I just see this puppet dog with a microphone talking into it. And she was just having a grand old time. Benji was very curious as well. It's like, what in the world is this puppet talking about?
Nellie looks at Benji over the wall like, what? Like, so Nellie saw a lot of cats in my time.
Really?
Yeah, we had it's by the beach. So there was just cats that hung out.
Yeah.
And so we kind of adopted them. We fed them extra fish that we had left over. So they hung out with us. So during hurricanes, we'd make sure that they were, that was part of our rounds, is to make sure that
check
our
on the cats
were okay. We're animal people, what can I say?
Absolutely.
So I don't know how many dogs she really saw. We had a general manager that brought in their dog a couple of times. And so the Dolphins were always very interested in dog. I just don't think dogs were as common on the grounds of Marineland as cats.
Makes sense.
And the cats were kind of over it. If there wasn't a fish, they didn't care. They're not going to get in the water. And so, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction. So when we watched it, when I was a trainer on an old VHS, because I still had a VHS player at that time.
Nice. Hey, that's okay. I still got mine.
I know. So my parents have one that's a converter to DVD. So I need to learn how to use it so I can get Benji Takes a Dive at Marineland on DVD.
Wow.
That's my goal for the rest of the year.
You got this.
I know. I could totally do this.
Absolutely.
No problem. And then if I get on DVD, I might be able to digitize it.
Oh, yes. That's the goal. Please share that.
Right? I will. We need to do more movie nights at Marineland. That would be fun.
We can do it. We could do it.
That would be a super fun movie series.
We have an underground classroom area that we take field trips, that we take our summer camp.
Yeah.
And basically we have a huge projector in there as well.
That's cool.
So naturally, and you got, of course, a big dolphin window habitat as well, so you can see the dolphins through the window. But that might be the ideal setting for a movie night at Marineland.
I wonder if Roxy and Kasik would want to watch it with us through the window.
I think Kasik definitely would.
I think Kasik would.
Because Kasik is still there.
Dazzle would be like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah. Dazzle would be very intrigued.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right before she goes and plays with, she's always playing with something. Plays with the fish, plays with the paintbrush, plays with the football.
She usually plays with Zach. Zach and her, that's like the kind of partner duo, because Zach's one of the biggest, heavier males that we got. But he's a quarter Pacific bottlenose dolphin as well. So he's huge. He's over
darker.
like 500 pounds.
Yep.
He's got like this elongated rostrum that kind of forks up a little bit.
You can spot Zach.
Yes, a mile away. But he's like one of the most patient dolphins.
Isn't that funny?
We have a variety of different like special needs programs that we offer. And I tell you what, I've seen him working with people. I mean, he's a special dolphin to me personally.
Yeah.
So I always have a soft spot for Zach, and I always love talking about him too.
Whenever I would bring my kids when they were younger, once Zach got there, we would frequently meet with Zach because he's just so patient with the kids. Oh my gosh, right?
Yes.
And so there'd be dolphins that I worked with that were still there, but like Dazzle has always been her own dolphin.
She will always be.
She will always
her own
be.
dolphin.
The most snuggly I ever saw Dazzle was when she was pregnant once.
Really?
And she was about to give birth.
Okay.
Like just about to give birth. And I was just told to keep Dazzle happy.
Yep.
So she was in the main habitat or doing interactions. And Dazzle was just like, her milk had already come in. Like she was within, a couple of days of giving birth, if not hours. And she was just like, she didn't want to eat really. She just wanted to get rubs.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've been moments from birth. Yes. Massages are good at that time. And so I would put my arms out like this and she would just lay in the little circle I'd make. And then I'd just massage her belly. I could feel the baby kick in and fiddling around in her belly. It's good times.
Well, you should see Miss Dazzle with our trainer Sammy. They get pretty close.
Yeah.
Sammy's also like Sammy's favorite.
Yeah.
But Sammy would never admit to that.
Never.
Can't say that.
I had my favorite dolphins.
See?
I can admit it now.
Yep. No, I do as well.
Yeah.
But I used to give tours. That was like when I first started. They were like, we're going to start you in gift shop and then we'll start you in education.
Yeah.
Well, you got to wear many hats at Marineland. And when I started giving tours, I would walk up on the top deck and this cute little dolphin who doesn't really need or isn't really, he's always looking for reinforcement. So always looking for that. Maybe he has food.
Yeah.
Oh, and so Ollie will, Ollie, he was only like 3 years old at the time, would swim right up, just start manipulating the air sacs in his blowhole. So just squeaking away.
Yep.
And I would always introduce him to the crowd, say, hey, hello, everyone. My name is Trey. This is Ollie. We're going to be giving you a tour of Marineland today. And Ollie loved it. So he always felt involved.
Yeah. They're so funny, man. I mean, there was times before I was a trainer, when I would do like trainer for a day at different habitats. I would do it at the Gulfarium, which you have some history with, some friends there, and SeaWorld, and like hanging out at the windows. I had a walrus want to snuggle once. Like,
wow,
it's wild what they're interested in, right?
Absolutely.
I had never been that close to a walrus or an otter.
Oh,
and
really?
so when you're not on staff at SeaWorld, this is like behind the scenes knowledge, y'all.
Ooh.
If you're not staff and you're behind the scenes at the Pinniped Theater where they do like the Clyde show, right? The Seymour and Clyde show.
The famous sea lion show.
Yes. And they have otters, sea lions, and walruses in that area, and they're coming in and out and doing those shows. They're so much fun to watch. So the sea lions, they would just truck past us, like they would just kind of check us out. The walrus would truck past us. They had to report when the otters were coming through.
The little tiny
and they had
one?
to put us in a box that was 5 feet tall.
Oh no, so you're just...
Because otters are so curious. And they're just like, if there's something new, they're going for it.
Right.
And so we were strangers. We weren't the danger, though. We were strangers. And so they didn't want the sea otters to get a little too up close and personal just because of curiosity.
Of course, you never know.
And so they hid us in a box made out of the separators for bathrooms. That like hardcore plastic.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They had like a science fair trifold board. And we would have to pull it onto ourselves and be behind the
Could you see through it
I could
at all?
see over it because I'm tall enough.
Okay.
But there was a girl in our group that was too short to see
Under
over
the
it.
5 foot mark.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Too bad for you. But that's when people are like, ooh, I want an otter for a pet. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, hold on.
They destroy everything.
I was gonna say they're incredibly like not like you said curious,
Yeah.
but also super active.
Yeah.
So very demanding from any potential owner or trainer.
Yeah.
So you have to have like correct enclosure, correct diet, like correct time to give.
For sure. And even if you have all that, they're just so high energy and so curious. And their whole like business model, right, is like having tools that they can crack open hard things with to eat.
Absolutely.
And so like if it's hard and shiny, they're gonna destroy it. I have friends that worked with otters and they're like, every day you walk in, something is broken. Something is broken.
I can imagine a few watches going missing.
That was like the stress every day when you go in to check on the otters the first time. Like, what did they break today?
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine. We should get some otters, honestly.
Right? Marineland did have otters for a while.
Really?
Yeah. If it has been in captivity, it's probably been at Marineland. I'll tell you that. I mean, I really wish I think the river dolphins were there when I visited. I wish I had a memory of it.
The same of the pink, like the Amazonian.
Yeah.
Yes. So I know there was a ton of different research study going on when Rico Browning, so the original creature of the Black Lagoon, was on property. Kid you not, he actually got in the water and was working with the Amazonian dolphins as well.
That's wild.
And I had the privilege of meeting him once. He had like a gillibration not too long ago. I think it was like 2019 over in I'm trying to remember where it was, but anyway, I had the privilege of meeting him when he was still alive. And he's like, oh, he saw my hat and my uniform. He's like, oh, Marineland.
I've been there.
I remember I remember swimming with those pink dolphins.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you're like, sure, sir.
Mr. Browning, I don't know about that, but I checked it out. So he was not wrong.
Yep.
It was I mean, they're very mysterious. It's crazy because you think, darker pigmentation, because think like counter shading and camouflage, all the importance that dolphins take. What kind of counter shading are these dolphins doing with pink pigmentation all over their body?
Well, they're in riverbeds. Right. So they're river dolphins, so they're in very murky water.
Yes.
And so there's very low visibility. And so I've heard that that's one of the reasons why it's not as obvious counter shading on river dolphins, because the visibility is just so low.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And typically rivers are, more shallow than oceans. Sure. And so marine animals have to deal with the very deep and the shallows if they're somewhere in the water column. And so they have to compensate that. But in a river, you don't have the same kind of depth. So and the light's not traveling through the same way.
That's true. It's so thick. But that definitely makes sense.
Wild. You'll see some of them, and they kind of range from sort of, a pale pink, almost whitish look to like bright pink.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the bright pink ones are the ones that are either spending a lot of time closer to the surface, or I really wonder, there's a blubber layer though, so probably not.
It's gotta be something. They're not all muscle like these Atlantic Pacific bottlenose dolphins. They're just so large and so thick. I mean, our dolphins.
And funny shaped.
Yes.
River dolphins are funny shaped.
Especially different. Their rostrum is so long. It's almost like a set of alligator jaws.
I know. It's wild. So when I would tell everybody like, oh, I love dolphins, and you'd get the people that are like, oh, you love this, you think this is pretty, and I'm like, all of God's creation is pretty.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, some is special, but it's still pretty.
I was using that term today, actually. Special. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All right. But you have some really cool spring programs.
We do.
With them big old gray fish. They're not fish. That's what we would joke about. We would joke about calling them fish. They're not actually fish.
Yep, they're mammals.
Those dolphins.
Just like me and you. So we have coming up, actually it's this weekend. Our Easter egg extravaganza.
It's fantastic.
Yes, ma'am. So we're very excited. We haven't done this actually probably since 2019.
Okay.
But we actually partnered up with the Make Believe costumes, and they actually are donating their bunny costume for us to use for the day.
Very nice.
So I'm very thankful for that opportunity.
Have you ever had to wear one of those?
I have.
Yes.
I've done my fair share of mascot costume portrayal.
I was an Easter bunny last year.
Were you really?
I was a paid Easter bunny last year.
Oh my goodness! I'm glad you made it out alive.
I made it barely.
Well, we're very
go in hydrated.
I was gonna say we're very excited. We're having the Easter bunny out. We'll have over 500 eggs for kids of all ages to come. Bring your basket and choose and pick from. And we're offering 20% off admission. So just trying to sweeten the pot. That is awesome.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is go to Marineland and have your Easter egg extravaganza, and then get a babysitter for the kids, and then go for bourbon and barbecue at the Milano Room for dinner.
You know what? That doesn't sound like a bad day.
That sounds like a really good day.
Tire them out. I'm just saying, bring them 11 to 1. So let them meet the Easter Bunny, see a festive dolphin performance, get some window photos with the Easter Bunny, with the dolphins.
That's so cool. I love that.
And then hang out for a bit, and then join us for the other side of the park in Ambassador Park for the Easter egg hunt.
That is so fun.
Yes, ma'am.
I love this event. So this is dolphin. There's going to be dolphin performances, it says. So these are the training sessions that are done at the window, interactive.
Correct. So
very cool.
And it's so funny. You were talking about your interaction kind of like with the walrus. So we offer that during every trainer talk. So it's not, it's always, guaranteed that somebody will get to come up to the window and meet that dolphin. And then their parents will quickly have their phones out and they will cue them up for a photo, just so a child or someone can come up and experience that interaction firsthand.
I was there when we were just getting those dolphins desensitized to the windows and doing wall sits on the windows.
Really?
They were like, what is this?
Yeah.
We had to start on the middle columns.
Yep.
That match the walls, obviously. Yep. And then we had to fade it to the windows to get them to do it.
Wow.
They were like not down.
Really? I mean, I can imagine any
because
sort
it's
of
just
change.
Different.
Right.
Yeah. It's just totally different. And they're used to like the windows into their world being those little bitty Marineland windows,
the tiny
right?
Bronze windows.
Yeah. And so having a frameless window, they were kind of trying to figure out how to process that.
Yep.
So, it was a process of, trust us, this is safe. And they were like, okay, we trust you. And they got there. It didn't take long.
I imagine it's like a lot more revealing. It's almost like your eyes are opened.
Right. That, you can interact with these. They had never really had a reason to interact with the glass and the habitats before. And so it was cool that they were able to it was cool to watch them make that transition.
Absolutely.
To learn that they could.
No, they love it. They love doing all these different learning behaviors during the trainer talks at the windows, and the trainers love it too. So we get a nice little speaker out. We play some fun festive music as well. So I get to design the music.
That's going to be awesome.
So I'm very partial to it.
So you're the DJ.
So if you hear the music,
all right,
I did it.
Comment on Marineland's Facebook page about what a good playlist it was.
Man, that playlist. Ugh.
Yeah. That's awesome, right? The Dolphins are cool. The playlist was on point.
Oh my goodness! No.
Sweet prizes. What kind of sweet prizes we talking?
So literally sweet
prizes.
So an abundance of candy, obviously, and then there's actually little Easter bunnies inside the Easter eggs.
Nice.
Very excited about that.
Very cool. I hope the weather is perfect for you guys. It was great last weekend.
I was gonna say. So as of right now, it should be okay for Saturday. I know Friday's gonna be a little dreary, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
You need Saturday.
Listen.
And there ain't no shame in doing Easter egg hunts in the rain. I've done that.
Oh, no. We're not. Well, I'll make a call upstairs.
We'll get that.
I'll see what they can do for me.
No problem. We'll get this on point. So Marineland Saturday morning, get the kids tuckered out, get them with the babysitter or grandparents, and go have your bourbon and barbecue with Jimmy Jam. But you have another cool thing coming up. So you've got Kids Free Day.
I do. Yes, ma'am. So another fun thing we're doing. So Kids Free Day. I was actually inspired by this. Gulfarium did a similar concept. They had a Kids Free weekend. And we're like, you know what? Let's try this out. Let's hook our people up, our locals, our kids, our adults, and our seniors, anyone and everyone. So basically, if you're 12 years old and younger, you can come out, receive with, the purchase of one paying adult, you can receive up to 2 complimentary general admission.
Very nice.
So that's usually $20 a person. Well, absolutely free.
Yeah.
So obviously upgrading even to like a meet and greet, that's only a couple bucks in retrospect to the usual $70.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth looking into. I mean,
that's very cool.
Got a great facility, a lot of history. We just love the opportunity to share that, especially with kids nowadays.
Will this be the same day as the Marineland Market? Is that first Saturday of the month?
I believe. Let me check. That's actually a great question.
I think this might be a.
Oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Very cool. So you can do the market, you can see what's going on there, and you can come in with your kids for free. Well, the kids are free.
It's a good twofer.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't hear that.
We like twofers.
Yeah, you like that, right? Yeah. You don't hear that as often.
First time I went to New York City, they were like, go to TKTS and ask for the twofer. And that's like the only time someone said that and it wasn't a joke. And we got really good tickets.
You got to get the twofer. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so jealous.
Right?
It's not even up anymore.
That's a good show. I know.
Anyway.
I saw Phantom of the Opera twice. Once in New York.
No.
I saw it once in London.
Amanda, you're just rubbing it in now.
The Phantom had a Scottish brogue.
What?
It was fantastic.
Oh, man.
Ladies, you get this.
A
brogue on the Phantom.
The only Broadway production I've ever seen overseas was Wicked. It was in London.
Yeah.
And that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, she sang Defying Gravity. I was like, oh, okay.
It's great.
Whew. And I had seen it before. I'd seen it on tour in New York, but London, that was game changer.
Her Majesty's Theater?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's where I saw Phantom.
It's a long time ago.
It's a gorgeous theater.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So fun.
One thing I forgot to mention, all month long, for the month of April, I was just looking at this today. There's actually a food drive going on.
Oh, cool.
So as you know, April 14th, National Dolphin Day.
Yes.
Right? Yep. So in celebration of National Dolphin Day, we're actually doing a food drive, a pet food drive for the entire month of April. So if you basically bring in like a generous donation of like 20 of pet foods of some sort, we will supply we will discount $20 off of any in-water dolphin interaction.
That's a good discount.
And all the proceeds, all the basically donated pet food is going to go directly to the St. Augustine Humane Society.
Awesome.
Where they have an amazing
that is
pet
very cool
food pantry.
So. Yeah. That is an awesome program.
Yeah, I meant to talk about that sooner.
Yeah. So you can get kids free on April 6th. You can bring in your dog food and you can get discount programs too.
You better believe it.
Get those programs booked for April 6th, guys. Come on.
I'm going to say that if that's not a twofer, I don't know what is.
That is a twofer. We're liking twofers today.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So your interactive programs, you've got Dolphin Meet and Greet. This is a dry program, right?
Yes, so that's your out of water, 15 minutes. Anyone and their mother can take part in this program.
Okay, so this isn't part of the dog food plan. Then we've got Dolphin Designs. If you want to stay dry, this is my favorite.
Those are your two right
This
there.
is my favorite.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Dolphin Designs. And then so those are your dry land programs. With Dolphin Designs, you get to like actually paint with the You know what? I should have
so
brought
fun.
some of my paintings.
I should have brought mine. I have a whole mug, actually, that my friends painted.
broke my Alvin mug.
Oh, no.
I have an Alvin mug. It was one of his paintings that they had printed on a mug.
Right.
And my handle broke off. So I still use it as a pin cup.
Good.
Because it's my Alvin. Alvin was my favorite.
It's cool. I have an Ollie cup as well, so I get it.
I get it. So then your in-water programs are Dolphin Encounter, Swim Adventure, and Royal Swim.
Those are the top 3 programs that we have to offer. That's what they would be receiving the $20 off of with any pet food donation. Usually we like to say generous amount.
Yeah.
Don't bring just a little can of dog food.
Here's a can of Meow Mix.
Just exactly. Just try and think about all the potential families and pets and that it will help in the long run.
Absolutely. Dolphin Encounter, so that's still you're wading in.
Yep, so that's your 30-minute
on the
waist
shallow
deep.
beach.
Yep,
Yeah.
so you don't have to swim. Don't worry, but you're still going to get a life jacket. So anyone who's concerned
So you
about
don't float away.
Yep, you will not float away. 30-minute, a little bit more intimate, a little bit more photogenic opportunities, a little bit more learning behaviors as well. It's one of my personal favorite because you still are hitting all the boxes without having to actually swim out into the deep end.
So I love Dolphin Encounters when you have mixed generation groups.
You better believe
When
it.
you've got like the youngest ones all the way up to like grandma and grandpa and everybody's on the beach together.
Correct.
Because you're not going to get the like stiff grandma that's kind of floating sideways, and you're not going to get the kid that's like bobbing away.
Who's trying to stand.
That might be splashing the dolphin while they're trying to, So that's one of my favorite for multi-generational groups. And if you have kids that are a little bit younger.
Well, like as you know, there's a little height requirement. Usually you have to be at least 48 inches. If you're not 48 inches, you will have to have like a grown adult, like over the age of 18, like holding the child throughout the program. So again, mostly everyone can take part in the Dolphin Encounter, but it's all on the website as well. If you have questions about like heights and who's eligible and who's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you get a wetsuit for any of these?
So you, we hook you up with almost what's it's like a top half of one, and you zip it up. And that's basically if you're cold. If you're hot, you can you're good with the life jacket.
Okay.
So that's not like a constant demand.
Yeah.
Even though we have some people, it's like, hey, can I just get a little cover up because I'm a little chilly? Which
if
is fine.
you are low on, if your blubber layer is thin, if you have a low body weight, I highly encourage you to get the wetsuit shirt.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost like a jacket.
Yeah.
Right. So they'll hook you, or they'll put you in that first, and then you'll put your life jacket
on top
over that.
Okay.
But in case you want some sleeves, just to stay a little bit warmer, that's what we can hook you up.
So we don't do the full wetsuits anymore?
No, ma'am.
Oh man, that was so fun to explain to people who've never been in a wetsuit before how to put on a wetsuit.
How to zip from behind as well.
You would say, okay, this zips in the back, and you'd show it to them and be like, see, this is the front. It zips in the back. If you're not zipping it in the back, then you've got it on backwards, and without fail, at least 1 out of every 8.
You'll walk out. You see a zipper going up here, sir. Go back in. Look where the logo is. That's going to be on the front.
Yep. I promise the zipper's in the back. It's like, it doesn't feel right. I get it. I promise it's in the back. If you need us to help you zip it, we'll do it. We're not shy.
No.
That's it. So Swim Adventure, that's part shallow, then part deep, right?
Correct. So so again, you get to experience everything you get to experience with the Dolphin Encounter, but you get some fun deep water time. An additional learning behavior they do is a belly ride.
Yay.
And I love this part because you get to swim out into the deep. They'll ask you to just hang out there, so just keep bobbing. Remember, you got the life jacket on. And they'll ask you to hold out your hands. And you're like, okay, now I'm holding out my hands. All of a sudden, a dolphin will swim behind you flip over simultaneously, and they'll be like, okay, grab their pectoral flippers.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, okay. And you better hold on because they're going to bring you right in for a fun little belly ride.
So you may or may not know this, but inside that pectoral flipper are all of the same bones as a human hand.
That's absolutely correct.
And the arm bones that we have, they're all hidden inside there. So what's attaching that flipper to their body is our shoulder joint. It looks very similar to that joint. So you're holding their hands.
It's pretty cool. I mean, that's really what helps them almost like keep their balance and stabilize when they're swimming in the water. I mean, that's how they can swim. Not why, but how they can swim up to 18 miles an hour. And then they can jump 3 times their body length out of the water.
Turn on a dime. It's fun to watch those flippers work from underneath. So I spent a lot of time in scuba gear underneath the water at Marineland. It's a lot of fun to watch them maneuver from under the water.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So you were cleaning a good bit. Yeah.
I was very efficient with an air tank. Which means that I would suck down my air very slowly.
Oh, yeah.
So I can scrub for longer.
There you go.
So I would be in there and like 2 of my colleagues would take the place of the second scrubber. So that meant I got a lot of time underwater with dolphins.
Listen, I my heart goes out to you. That's difficult to do.
It's super fun in the summer.
Yep. Staying
in the
cool.
winter.
No, ma'am. Oh, man. No, man.
Oh, it's cold.
Well, let me specify for the crowd as well. Our habitats are not dirty.
No.
We're talking about cleaning a good bit.
Yeah.
We're also right on the ocean, and we get our water directly from the ocean.
Yeah, absolutely.
While doing that with our 3 layers of filtration, getting the direct ocean water, algae kind of comes in with it.
Yep.
And with that, it can start to kind of just hang out on the bottom, start to grow. That shows us life is not only being sustained, but is also growing as well.
Yep. Our water is healthy at Marineland because algae can survive there in a healthy balance.
Yes, ma'am.
But part of the reason why it's not dirty is because we keep clean, right?
You better believe it. Oh my gosh. Our animal trainers do a great job. I was about to say, when I come in, when I leave, there is somebody cleaning.
Yeah.
But there's always someone watching as well.
Of course.
That's some heavy duty scuba gear. My wife was also very well known for doing it as well. So she was a dolphin trainer at Gulfarium. I mean, not Gulfarium, so sorry, Gulf World.
Gulf World, okay.
Yes, Gulf World in Panama City.
Yeah, I was born in Panama City.
There you go.
Spent a lot of time at Gulf World.
Yes, ma'am. And that's our sister park as well. So we have a lot of love for Gulf World. And Maria, she would, since everyone's like, okay, we really need someone to stay after and dive and clean for us. Yeah. And the person who was assigned to do it would be like, I don't know. Man. I'm not feeling well today.
It's that old football injury in the shoulder, you know?
So Maria would be like,
all right,
I'll do it. Yeah. So she was a good sport for doing so.
We had a couple of trainers that just couldn't remember where their dive cards were. You get certified to be a scuba diver, and so they just couldn't find their scuba certification.
Oh, man.
All winter long. Can't imagine.
But Amanda can find hers, right? Oh, okay. She's got it.
I had to turn mine in as part of getting the job.
Oh, geez.
So they had mine. I couldn't hide it. So that was the other reason why I was always in the water.
Dang. Oh, man. I'm so sorry.
You know Keith.
I do.
His brother could never find his scuba certification card.
I am not surprised by that at all.
Yep. So the belly swim, that is a fairly new behavior for Marineland dolphins.
Correct.
That was just in the early stages of being trained when I left. So I never got to do a belly swim with one of the Marineland dolphins.
So they brought that in. We had actually some of our trainers from corporate come in, and they really did a lot of intensive one-on-one treatment and learning behavior training with our dolphins. His name's Marco. Marco's great at that. Yeah. And we brought Roque in for some time as well. Roque is one of our operations managers. He does a great job. Yeah. But we have a full team of passionate trainers. Anyway, so once they got that behavior down, it was back in 2019. Yeah. we were very excited to show that off and share that with the people as well.
It's so cool.
Yes, ma'am.
I kind of laugh because when we were in the early stages of becoming like an actual dolphin trainer in your early days, you have to kind of break down a behavior that you want to train. And like, so you have to describe the behavior, you have to break down the steps, how you want to train it. And then that's one of the exercises you do to show that you're getting this whole dolphin training thing. And one of the girls that was in the program suggested that very behavior.
Really? She had her
and because
mind in the right place.
Because it was like old school, like Marineland. They had a lot of them had come from shed. That was just not a behavior that was done there. So a lot of the guys like thought it was funny and kind of like ragged her on, okay, you're going to like belly to belly swim.
Wow.
So I don't even remember the behavior that I outlined, but they kind of ragged her for her behavior. They're like, you did a good job, but like, that's kind of,
come on,
that's kind of silly, don't
Leave
you
her
think?
alone.
And now it's one of the premier behaviors.
She's super ahead of her time.
She was ahead of her time.
Yes.
And it's a premier behavior.
Absolutely.
So I just think it's funny.
We haven't even gotten to the Royal yet, but once
I know.
The Royal's
fantastic.
It's another animal. Okay. Speaking from experience.
Yes. It's a whole other thing.
It's everything you'd get to experience with the dolphin encounter, the swim adventure, but double the dolphin.
Double the dolphin.
Double the dolphin. So you have two dolphins that you're meeting and interacting
so cool.
with for that half-hour program.
Yeah.
But there are two learning behaviors that you really will get to experience in that program that you won't get to experience anything else. So the first one, it's called the dorsal pull.
Okay.
So the dorsal pull, they'll ask you to swim out to the deep water. They'll ask you to kind of hold your hands out like so.
Yeah.
You're just floating there again, life jacket. And two dolphins will come up behind you, and then their dorsal fins will find their way to your hands, and they will pull you in.
Yeah.
They'll just ask you to hold on tight, look at the camera, smile, and they get a great photo. If you don't do that, you get swept underwater. So your head or your face is engulfed by water.
Smile to the sun.
Correct. Yes. Just smile and hold on.
Yep.
And then the second one is my favorite one, the foot push.
Yeah, the foot push.
Oh man. So they'll ask you to swim back out to the deep water. They'll ask you to lay on your stomach. They'll ask you to spread your legs. Yeah.
Is this a double?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And there will be a dolphin on each foot.
Yep.
And they will ask you to arch your back, raise your hands, and you will sail across the top
so
of the
fun.
water like Aquaman.
A foot push is so fun.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Dorsal toes. So dorsal toes are a lot of fun too. It's a little more controlled of an experience where you're body to body with the animals. On a foot push, they've got nothing in the way of their tail. And so it can be a much faster ride on a foot push.
Oh goodness, yes.
Oh yeah.
If you go to the website, you'll go to reservations.
All right.
And then you go to Royal Swim, and you will see a picture of me taking part in the program.
I have noticed you're in a lot of the Marineland Facebook posts.
Just some of them.
Yeah.
So you have to go to that one
all the
right
way.
there.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Reservations.
And then you'll just click.
We'll find it.
Yep, it's literally right there.
There's our friend. Hi, Trey.
Yes. So it's like I said, it was a fun time that was taken back in 2019. So it's a great experience, great opportunity. But you really gotta, if you don't arch your back and raise your hands, you will also, similar to the dorsal pull, your face will get a lot of water.
If you have a relationship with the animals and you're working with animals that can handle slightly different paradigms, you can do a double dorsal toe under the water. So that's part of the reason why you have to arch your back.
That's right.
Because if you point yourself down, you're going down.
You're going down.
I mean,
life jacket or not.
They can push you down even in a life jacket. So Barbara Jean wants to know how to sign up for these. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to the homepage and we're going to walk you through the process. All right. So when you go to marineland.net, which I'll drop in the comments, you've got this no refund policy. You have to agree to that. Also, no jewelry, no refund.
We don't want it dropping in the habitat.
Yes, we don't want dolphins eating that jewelry. So up here, you've got the admit one reservations, right? So we click on this, and these are all of your options. You've got general admission. You've got your in-water programs here. You've got the meet and greet, which is dry land, and then you've got your dolphin designs with Melissa. I know Melissa. With Melissa doing a painting. And then you also have trainer for a day, tortoise time, and Aquarius for a day.
I was about to say,
these are so fun.
Don't knock the tortoise time till you try it.
Tortoises are so fun.
They're the red-footed tortoises we have.
They're so fun.
And our Aquarius department just does a great job with them. We get little wooden skewers. We put fruit on there. You get to decorate your own little canvas with your own colors.
Yeah.
They'll put it in a plastic bag. They'll put it right in front of the tortoise, and then you'll kind of like hold out the skewer with the fruit on it, and the tortoises will just kind of walk
across
right over your painting. Then you got a little couple tortoise footprints in there for you.
That's fun.
It's adorable. It's a really fun time.
That's a lot of fun. Oh, tortoises are fun. Do you get to rub on them too?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
All right. So tortoises love where the scales of their skull meet the like crinkly skin of their neck. They love to get rubbed right there.
Is it right up here?
Yeah.
Or?
Anywhere along the junction. Like it seems
right
to be where the scales and the skin meet.
Okay.
That sort of junction seems to get kind of itchy, and it's not a place that they can get to.
They can't scratch it.
And so you can just rub on them like that right there, and they love it. I've had a decent amount of experiences with tortoise. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Leopard tortoises and sulcatas I've gotten to play with, and they're so fun, y'all. It's a lot of fun to play with. I mean, I love all
they're adorable
critters
too.
to play with.
I think it's really cool. You get to just see how curious and intelligent they really are. Because you think tortoise and you're like, oh man, okay, I guess like a turtle or a gopher tortoise. No. These are like red-footed tortoises, like known from being from the Amazon forest.
Then those are really cute. So they're red-footed because they've got little like modified scales on their legs that are bright red.
Yep.
I'm going to drop the reservations link for Marineland in the comments right now.
Excellent.
So when I was in college, I had an operant condition class.
Okay.
And I had to do a final project. And I trained a tortoise to do a maze.
What?
And then
did you scatter accordingly along the track? Or?
So I trained it to look for a square. So that was the target, look for the square. And if you go down the leg with the square, then you'll get a treat. And so I was able to change the course, and he would always go to the square.
Wow. Yeah. Smarter than you think.
Tortoises, I mean, they're a lot of fun, y'all. I love playing with animals, and it's super fun when you can do a little bit of training, see what they're capable of. They'll teach you things along the way.
You're not wrong.
It's a lot of fun.
Speaking of teaching things, we our Marineland summer camp.
Oh yes,
it's right around the corner.
Y'all, I love summer camps for kids and programs like this. Tell me, talk to us.
Well, so usually there's 3 different kind of age limits. So the first one would be ages like 7 through 9. As they get older, 10 through 12. And then finally, there's teen camp as well, from 13 to 17. So when we've had campers over the years starting in the first sea camp graduate through teen camp, because it's been, not only because it's been around for so long, but because it does leave that educational impact.
Yeah.
And one of our most recent hires, Hannah, I kid you not, from our education team, was one of those camp graduates.
Yeah.
From like Sea Camp 1 all the way done through teen camp.
That's awesome.
But no, we love it. It's a lot of intensive time just learning about the ocean, the dolphins, everything about our facility, between the history. There's a variety of different learning opportunities for like each different age. Our education coordinator, Jody, does an amazing job. So it usually starts, it's $390 plus tax for a 1 full week of camp. And they go from like June 3rd to June 7th. And keep in mind, like this is all going to be on the website as well. It's just under like summer camps, under Marineland.
Yeah.
So June 3rd through June 7th, that's going to be your first official week of camp. Next up is obviously June 10th through June 14th, June 17th through June 21st, June 24th through June 28th. And July 1st through July 5th. Yes, that includes July 4th.
Okay.
So I know that there's some people who do enjoy traveling during that time, but some who do like to stay locally.
Yep.
So that we do have that opportunity as well.
Very cool.
July 8th through the 12th, July 15th through the 19th, July 22nd through 26th, and then all the way from the 29th to August 2nd.
Very cool. That is awesome. And I am a success story of aquarium summer camps. I was in the Panhandle, so I did the Gulfarium summer camps.
Nice.
And lots of trainer for a day programs. And anytime I could get behind the scenes and talk to trainers, that's what I was doing.
Nice.
I wanted to be a trainer. So
when did you know you wanted to be a dolphin trainer? I never asked you that, Amanda.
Since I was in as early as the first time someone asked me what I wanted to do.
Really?
I wanted to be a dolphin trainer.
Well, we talking like 3 or 4,
yeah,
5
like
years old?
4 or 5 years old.
It's so funny.
So from that time, so at first it's like, oh, that's so fun. And then, you get to be a little older and they're like, sure, you're going to be a dolphin trainer. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be a dolphin trainer.
Absolutely.
And I was.
Yes, you were.
For sure. It was a lot of fun.
My wife said the same thing. She went to Theater of the Sea down in, I think it's in the Keys, right?
I think so.
South Florida. And first time she went, she was about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
That right there, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
And she was a successful trainer for like 5 years.
Yeah. When I came to Marineland as a child, so I grew up on the Panhandle. We didn't come to the East Coast of Florida very often, but I had a competition down in Tampa, and my dad was like, well, we'll just take a loop around Florida. So we went to every zoo and aquarium on the way.
Wow.
From like the little roadside. This was probably like 88, 87, maybe 89. So like every stop along the way, and we came all the way up, and then we cut back on I-10 to get back to the Panhandle. So that's when I saw Marineland. So like late 80s, early, maybe 90. No, it had to have been before 90. So late 80s. Yeah. So I looked through the pictures when I got the interview at Marineland. I pulled out the old family albums, and those pictures were in there. And some of the dolphins that I ended up working with were dolphins that I had pictures with.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Full circle.
Yeah. And I had always had a memory of like this crazy like jump extravaganza with dolphins at a circular oceanarium, and I could never place where that was until I came for my interview, and I had this total like deja vu moment of I have been here,
yes, ma'am.
But I was this tall and I could barely see over the wall. And
was it the Jump Master show?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah,
that was like the world's first dolphin show. So a lot of history in that too.
And then I got to do the last dolphin show at that habitat. It was question and answer, mamas and babies. And so it was just a free form, audience would throw questions at us and we got to answer questions.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So it was pretty cool that was like a memory I could never place until I got a job there. And I was like,
literally hit you.
I was here.
No, I mean, it's a great place. I mean, definitely we want you to have that feeling. We want you to go tell your friends and then come back, experience something completely different. And then take something with you education wise. We're not like Georgia. We're not like SeaWorld. We don't have any roller coasters.
Yeah.
We are an education interaction facility.
And you're there to see these dolphins, look them in the eye, man, like get close to them. But you're a research facility. You have always been. You've got other species. You've got sea turtles. You've got tortoises. You've got the sand tiger sharks. We've talked about the sand tiger sharks.
Yes, ma'am.
My son did an Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader with one of your sand tiger shark
really?
ladies. She beat him, just barely. She beat him though. I mean, I'm not
gonna lie. Do you remember who? Do you remember who? What
I'll
her
have
name
to look
was?
back. I'll have to look back.
Please tell me that name.
I will. I will get you that name. But you also have a fantastic volunteer program. And so I want to close on this. If you are watching this and you have memories of Marineland or you would love to support this organization, they have an excellent volunteer program. So you can sign up to be a volunteer. You get to hang out on site in the sun and the ocean breezes, and you get to answer questions.
So back when we were owned and operated by Georgia Aquarium.
No, we don't have it anymore?
Back when we were owned and operated by Georgia Aquarium. I know, I'm so sorry. Back when we were owned by Georgia Aquarium, we did have a killer volunteer program. I kid you not, I was there. I met hundreds of volunteers who were very passionate about their time there. And there were only a tidbit few once the Dolphin Company did purchase Marineland.
Okay.
So we could not sadly continue that volunteer program. However, there were 2 or 3 volunteers that we loved so much
that they got hired.
We employed them. And they're like, listen, it's just a couple days a week.
Yep.
We don't care. We just want to be here for you guys and for the animals. So
it's fantastic.
We're very thankful.
There's a great legacy at Marineland. So I want y'all to remember these dates. You've got this Saturday, You've got the extravaganza.
Yes, ma'am. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yep. So that extravaganza, 20% off general admission, dolphin performances, photo opportunities, sweet prizes, get your candy and Easter eggs, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., March 23rd. And then you also have your kids free day. Kids 12 years old and under, free admission. Tickets will be available for purchase in person on Saturday, April 6th.
Correct.
Awesome.
So they'll be available right there at the door. And then we can show everyone and teach some people along the way some fun facts, not only about our facility, not only about our animals, but also about conservation.
Yep.
About reducing, reusing, refusing, and recycling, expanding the lifespan of animals under professional care,
Yep.
And everything you can do to help, keep that legacy going.
Yeah,
Can't do it without you.
This is your history, and what we know about dolphins was almost entirely discovered at Marineland.
It's true.
And some of the dolphins that helped us know these things are still there.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
go and visit them. It was great to have you back, Trey. Thank you so much.
Amanda, thank you so much. I love coming back, and I love being here.
It's a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We're gonna have the Blevins boys tomorrow. We've got trivia, so come on back. Let's see how I can make Troy and Blake mad at me this week. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.